Bertemu kembali. Penerbangan komersial udara terjejas teruk akibat pandemik COVID-19 dan masih belum pulih sepenuhnya dengan kerugian dianggarkan pada 370 bilion dolar. Rantau Asia Pasifik paling teruk terjejas dengan kadar pembuangan pekerja. Sektor itu mencecah 11.2 juta orang dan juga peserta industri penerbangan kini memulakan langkah untuk mengatasi cabaran besar ini dan juga salah satu cara adalah melalui penggunaan teknologi. Ia bagi membantu syarikat penerbangan terus memberikan nilai perkhidmatan, mewujudkan kelebihan kompetitif dan juga pertumbuhan syarikat. Selain itu, penggunaan teknologi juga bagi membolehkan pengurusan sumber yang lebih baik dalam syarikat ketika tempoh sukar pada ketika ini. Bagi membincangkan topik ini, kita bersama dengan Seth Ravin, iaitu Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Remedy Street yang bersedia pada ketika ini. Seth, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Seth, first of all, how has the airline industry changed since the pandemic erupted and still is as we speak with the spread of Omicron variant?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me back. Of course, the airline industries have been devastated over the last couple years with the pandemic, and they've had a real challenge in terms of trying to keep operations moving forward and adapting to a much more digitally oriented world in order to, for airports as well as for airplanes, the entire travel experience from end to end.
And Seth, you help these companies to free up more resources and reallocate them towards key digital innovation projects such as IT modernization and business intelligence initiatives. Share with us more about this.
Sure. I think one of the things that we're watching airlines do is because they've had such reductions in revenue, especially the global and the international carriers, because it's so difficult getting passengers for business from one place to another between requirements for quarantine, requirements for safety. These things have slowed down business travel and the revenues substantially. So what they've been doing is focusing on reducing costs while at the same time trying to find ways to spend money on the digital innovations needed to get the kind of business results and profitability that they want once the pandemic subsides and we're able to return to more normal travel patterns.
Of course, different airlines face different structural challenges. How has digital transformation further propelled their recovery during these hard times?
Well, I think the fact that all the airlines were different, they all had similar challenges because they rely a lot on business travel for revenue. And they really needed to focus in on some of the digital transformations, such as the work that we're doing for Korea Air or the work that we're doing for Philippine Airlines and many others around the world in terms of airlines. Putting in new baggage systems, reducing labor costs is substantially a big part of what they're trying to accomplish, as well as increasing the passenger reservation system, the streamlining of the scheduling for aircraft, a lot of analytics around understanding where the airline should be spending money, what routes should they be flying today with all these complications.
If we take by population, Seth, Southeast Asia is the most crucial region in terms of air travel. With COVID-19 containment measures are still in place in some countries, how can the airlines companies as well as transportation companies in this region accelerate digitalization?
Well, I think first they have to look at their total cost picture. And where we're helping companies is we look at their total IT picture and we look at what they're spending on products such as the ERP systems from companies such as Oracle and SAP, which can take a substantial portion of their IT budget. And we're helping them reduce those costs, improve those systems, and be able to use those cost savings to leverage and fund new digital transformation projects. So it really is more about what they're spending on. When you have reduced resources, you have to be very careful to spend on the right items that are going to assure their competitiveness and their ability to grow once the pandemic subsides enough to return to some normal business travel.
Of course, most of these companies are in the red in terms of their bottom line, and technological investment may require big budget for some company. But for some companies that have been bailed out so many times, I understand there's cost to this digital journey, but share with us how it will benefit their bottom line in a longer period.
Well, if you can take some of your day-to-day operating costs from the airlines, reduce those, and be able to fund the innovation for technology, that is a very significant competitive advantage over other airlines that may not be doing it. We happen to work with airlines all over the world. While Southeast Asia, of course, is the fastest growing segment of the airline industry with the number of people, we also see growth and we see expansion around the world, whether it's Europe, Latin America, or North America. All the airlines are having to make the same types of decisions between reducing operating costs and finding new ways to fund innovation in order to keep up with the other airlines in competition.
Okay, all right, Seth. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really appreciate your time. Itu tadi Seth Ravin yang merupakan Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Rimini Street. Kita membincangkan tentang sektor penerbangan khususnya di rantau ini yang terkesan akibat pandemik COVID-19 yang masih lagi berluasa dengan penularan varian Omicron pada ketika ini. Bagaimanakah soal menguruskan kos syarikat penerbangan dalam tempoh sukar pada ketika ini dan memastikan bahawa memaksimumkan sebaik mungkin segala sumber untuk menurunkan kos untuk jangka masa panjang, pada akhirnya bottom line iaitu keuntungan dan juga kewangan syarikat itu dapat recover, pulih semula, dan ini apa yang dilakukan oleh Rimini Street sendiri.